I know that some students will be celebrating this week Ramadan. So some of you have to leave early and all of that. It's okay. That's why I'm recording. So you can, there is no problem if you need to keep going. No problem with that, okay? We're gonna spend some time explaining today the topic, and I will tell you how is the activity, and that's it. I'm making mess here, and that's it. Okay, so no problem. Mm, Comments that you have. I wish you the best to all of you that are celebrating Ramadan. That's maybe I don't have too much people here in the class. 13 only. I think we are more populated. Jacqueline is coming. Jacqueline is here. So,
Yes, hello, teacher.
how are you, Jacqueline?
Good.
Happy to have you here. Happy to receive you. So, how now I see you better now. Better now. So, yes, it's always a great opportunity to hear your voices and see you in the camera or whatever, any other place. Some of you go to the school, so yeah, that's good to have you there sometimes. Yeah, but tell me if you want to say something during the intervention that we are here, you are free to talk anything you consider that is important. If you consider it's not important, say it anyway. It doesn't matter. We're going to make it important here because all of your ideas are contributions for the class to make it easy, better, faster, and everything. So leadership. When we mention leadership, there is something you will see about traits, the traits of the leader. So if you want to share with us which traits do you think a leader must have, you can write it on the chat if you don't want to say it, or if you want to speak, you can do it. Some things that you consider a leader must have, or that you think it's supposed to have. Maybe some skills that you already have and you find they are useful for you and make you strong. In my case, for example, I always think on my consistency. I think that I have this skill to be consistent. Uh, if I make a goal, like I'm gonna say, for example, I'm gonna do my exercise every day. So this is something I keep. I don't give up. So I don't know if you have something that you want to highlight from you, some skills that help you in your life, or maybe some skills that you like, that you say, oh, I wanna have this skill. If you feel that you want to have it, it's because you have it, and you potentially, as soon as you do a little effort, and they are in you. If you observe something in somebody else that you really like, it's because you are this. You are this. It's just that you are getting there, and as soon as you develop the skills, it's gonna be part of your life. Right now, is so don't give up in those things that you consider you have. Keep uh, in this pushing yourself, pushing yourself. So that's something good to know. Finding also, as I always tell you, find a ways to push you. Actually, it's part of the class, this concept, pushing yourself on the best. A lot of community coming now. So again, because now we are increasing the number, now we are 18. This class is not too crowded. This class, we don't have a lot of people in this class. But again, I'm going to repeat it. I know some of my community here have some commitments in the temple. They are celebrating, starting Ramadan this week. So you are free to do your stuff because we don't gonna take too long. Let's go to the leadership class, chapter 13. And feel free to talk and say what you think on this. Maybe some strategies that work for you or that you feel don't work for you, say it. You can share your opinion. Okay. Maybe if you see something in the book that you say, I'm not agree, you can say it. You can say it and it's fine. Actually, when I'm preparing class for you, I read some stuff. I say, they are repeating the same, like it's the same concept with different words, So it's okay to have your own opinion on the concepts. Especially leadership is not exact, like I always say. There is nothing proof here. There is nothing proof. Actually, management is a discipline that is an area. It's an area in business that is always in constant research and finding ways to do the things, because some things work for some companies, some things don't, and some things work for some group and some things don't. It depends. It depends. Many variables are involved on the groups or the leadership teams, the directors, managers, CEOs, owners, the perspective, and everything, right? If you think about, for example, a leader like now I forgot the name. Certain leader, right? I'm gonna remember in a few minutes that work with a different perspective of leadership. Gracias, mijo. My community is helping me here. So let me go to the chapter so you can see what I'm talking about. Again, if you wanna say something, take advantage, because just nothing more. It's almost done. Almost done. We are almost done with this class. Leadership. Here, if you click on the topic, you see the book take you to there. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Oh, look at here. If there is some traits that you consider that leaders have, you can put it on the chat or just talk to me. Leadership is different to management. That's what you are seeing on the screen, some comparison, because remember that leadership is motivating others to achieve the goal. In the manager, we are maintaining the resource to accomplish the goal, administrating the resource or managing, I can say, the resource to achieve the goal. A manager can be a leader, of course, if they promote this skill on them. That's why we need to speak about those skills. And I'm asking you, tell me what skills you think you must have or somebody needs to have. Right? So here you see on the screen this part, and it's showing you a baseball team. I'm from Dominican Republic, so Dominicans are crazy for baseball. Yeah, crazy for baseball. So in the different sports, you will find different ways where you can explore, let's say this way, leadership skill. It doesn't matter in different positions. Some of you are talking here. So that's what you're seeing on the screen is the leader versus manager. So remember, leader, to leave you something in your head, motivation. Leader is about motivating others to achieve the goals. Let's say this way. And manager, administrating the resources, period. So you can keep this in your head. Okay, so leadership is more appealing to your own skills, appealing to your own development. And you as a leader will be able to develop others and make others more resourceful, resilient, useful in their work environment. If there is a leader that catches your attention, something that in the past or right now, some skill that you observe in a leader, let me know. Put it on the chat. You can talk anytime. Let me see the chat here. No, it's okay. It's in chat now. So yes, I got chat now. Do I have classes today? I'm trying to join. Okay, I'm with you. It's just that I have Nasma trying to get in the class. She cannot do it. So let me help her a little bit so she's not, okay. Mm, yes, now she's okay. Let's keep going, okay, with our concepts today. So you will see here in the screen some illustration about the leadership process. Let me put it tiny. You can access to all of this if you click in the week 11, okay? You can see all of this in the page 420. So the leadership process, it's involving the followers and the context. The context means the situation or the situation where the leadership is being executed. Okay, so here, what you see in the blue dot is consequence, trust, dislike, affection. What is that? So what is the answer? Let's put it this way. The answer of the followers for this leader. Remember, in some cases, I repeat again, in some cases, you will be following instruction, following the leader, because that's the way the things have been done. Yeah. Everybody's texting in the WhatsApp group. I don't know. They are in panic. Okay, it's you people. Okay, so here the follower, look at the screen, it says the follower is not passive player. And I am repeating this over and over because I don't want you feel, because let's say, for example, you are working for a company, any organization, it doesn't matter the size. Maybe it's 2 persons, you and the owner. It doesn't matter the size. So you will say, yes, Bianca, but I cannot be leader in any way because I'm not the owner. It doesn't mean that you are doing wrong because you are following instruction. It's the context, the situation. And again, in some cases, in a lot of cases, you will be leading depending what is happening. So, for example, I'm going to tell you this personal story. When I am with somebody that is very oriented in the street, like knows where the car is and knows where is this address, know where is the street, everything, I rely on the person because I know this person is oriented. So I just don't care. Like I let the other person guide because I know, okay, this person is oriented with the streets, the address. But if, for example, if when I am with my mother, if I get out with my mother, I cannot, especially if we are here in the States. So especially in this time, I cannot rely on her. She will be, so I say to her, I take the leadership because you are lost, right? It's depending the context, right? Again, I don't know if that happened to you sometimes that you say, you take the leadership in some cases and sometimes you say, okay, I'm gonna let this situation like this because it's the best I can do. So depends. But that doesn't mean, again, I'm gonna repeat it again, it doesn't mean that you are not active in the situation. So it's good that you are aware of the skills and the abilities that you need to perform to be always, if it's necessary, following or taking the leadership, right? Which is that I want from you that you know how to deal with this. And this is what is your richness, right? And you can help others to develop and do better work in the organizations that you belong. It doesn't matter if it's commercial, non-commercial, for-profit, non-profit, is a religion organization or is a commercial organization. It doesn't matter. So we were talking about this a lot, the context, situation. The situation will determine everything. Let's say this way, right? So the process will be involved in, for example, what is the feeling on you, what is your perspective about this leadership area, in you as a leader or your opinion about the others. something important to think. Okay, so a lot of people say it's the results will talk for you. The results will say if you are developing a good job as a leader or not, right? Sometimes you notice in some organization, I don't know if that happened to you, that or you observe some people don't, the organizations don't give enough time. I saw cases like that, like you have this new employee in this leadership position, couple days later the leader is out, the person is out, because the organization didn't give the enough time to the leader to prove or show or develop the skills that this person can have. Okay, so this is something that we need to take care as leaders of organizations that you are and will be. Okay, so leader member exchange theory. Look at the screen. What is that? So when we say leader member exchange, it's like you and me have this relationship to develop the skills and the leadership abilities that you need to develop. That's it. So it's the relationship between this leader and the follower. Let's put this way. If again, I keep saying the same, but if you want to share an experience that you are having right now or that you had in the past with leadership, something that worked for you or something that you find that didn't work in this observation that you had, please share with us so we can learn from you or obtain conclusions of your experience. Formal leader, the word tells you a lot. Formal leader, it's somebody that is designed. For example, Reformed University assigned this, let's say, leader of the course to be in charge, facilitator, this person in charge of this class, right? So it's a formal leader established. Let's say this way, but if we are talking about informal, so it's something that comes, is not given, like the power is not given, if it comes from you. For example, in this class, we can have some students that are highlighted as informal leader because they have certain skill or certain experience. Some of you are educators or have been working in education before, so those things maybe will make you to be highlighted in this group. I know, like in this scenario, it's some things cannot be shown because I am in the computer alone. Sometimes I say, but I'm alone, they are not with me. So all the teachers complain with that, right? But yes, in other scenarios, maybe it's kind of, let's say, easygoing to maintain this dynamic environment. Okay, but yes, that's what I'm doing here, trying to get something from you. Okay, so that's why we are talking about, you see, when we say designated leader, it's the same that formal. It's the same that formal leader. So it's designated by somebody. Emergent, so again, like we say, it's a person, the word tell you emerge, that comes because their ability, their skills, or their interest. Let's put this way. Okay. And maybe you have this experience, like you have to, I would love to hear, because I know you must have a lot of stories on that, some moment that you say, okay, I have to take the leadership on this because if not, it's not going to happen. Or if I don't do this, I have to do it. Or you find that in order to serve to the group, to the church, to the temple, to the house, to everything, you need to take the leadership of something, because if not, will be different, right? So if you have a story on this, please share with us. Share with us so we can, have your experience when you have to take leadership in your life that you didn't have a choice, because if you don't do it, will be something unfortunate situation. right? So you can share with us. Maybe an emergency that you had, health emergency with somebody that you have to take the leadership and move in a way that you say, oh, I never believe I will do that. If there is something that happened to you like this, let me know. And I think I always tell you something like that. I always ask him, but I didn't get stories yet. So reward power, reward to have something in payment. Let's say this way. So if you do this amount of sales, you're gonna get this certain bonus. Reward is based on the bonus or compensation, something in exchange. That's what we call it this way. Coercive is more like punishment. Okay, punishment. So referent power and expert power, for me, they have a lot of similarities. So remember, in the referent, the person wants, it's doing a job to obtain the respect of the group. But in the expert, they already have it. Because as I was telling when we start, like some of you are expert on education, for example, or I have students here that are, like I was saying, lawyers or administrators. So those are your expert power. Okay, so legitimate power is the same that we said before, like it's already given. So the president have a legitimate power because all is designated like legitimate president, right? So this is a way to call it. That's what it is. So this is what you're seeing on the screen is showing the relationship between the leader and the follower. Always the leader it's promoting their abilities, their tactics, and then it's gonna get the follower response. Let's say this way, the response, and then the reaction of the group. So we can talk about satisfaction, the motivation, the performance. In simple words, the production that the group will have because it's motivated, remember, motivated to achieve the objectives because the skills that the leader has. Okay. That's why we need to keep working in our skills. And also talking about skills, confident people, it's amazing. North Americans used to say, and I say the same, fake it until you make it. Fake it until you make it. People see if you are confident about what you're doing, even if you are scared, if you are taking, don't worry, do it with fear. If you receive let's say you receive a responsibility that you were dreaming to have, but now you have it, you are shaking, you know what, do it with fear, always pushing you to do this, to achieve new goals. For example, talking in the microphone, do it. Even if you are shaking, do it, because those things will develop this leadership skill on you. Sometimes taking challenge, like I always talk to you, you took a big challenge to leave. All of us, we took a big challenge to leave our hometowns and come to this country. So you have experience on taking risks and taking the challenge. So that's what I'm trying to push you. And right now, don't get in the comfort zone because now, okay, I did what I want, now I'm here. So now you will have more challenge, right? So that's the spirit that we need to have, promoting this challenge passion. Why? Because this passion for the challenge will improve your skill, improve your characteristics. I know it's not easy to wake up early and exercise at least 5 minutes. It's not easy to wake up and read It's not easy. It's not easy to do more. It's not easy. And it's good to observe yourself. Even if in this uh, 24-hour doing something, I like it. I'm an active person. I like this program to be working, constantly, but it doesn't mean that we, all of us, we have to observe ourselves. And sometimes, you know what? You need to sit down and think, and you need sometimes to do nothing and stop. And for me, it's hard to say this because I am more to the doing. But now I'm visualizing some things and observing some other things, and I say, okay, there is a moment when you have to sit down, you have to write, you have to think, you have to do nothing. Yes, you can do that, because now the society is pushing you. You have to be better. You have to have a better body. You have to produce a lot of money. Those are good things, but they don't have foundation. They don't have value if you are not happy and if you are not improving in your spirit, in yourself. And leadership is about that, right? To help you, because as soon as you help you to be better, you will help others and influence, like the words, the book say, influence. So you influence your behavior, influence other. Okay, that's what we wanted to say. So you will see many theories here, a lot of theories, boss center leadership, subordinate center. You will see many concepts, many phrases calling the leadership in different ways. What happened with this animal? I don't know. Something's going on with him. Okay, so, and this is something here that you will see. Wait a second, because this is crazy now. Okay, one moment. Okay, I'm here. So all of these concepts that you are seeing on the screen, the theory X and theory Y, leaders, what is that? So you will see different analysis regarding leadership. That's what I was trying to tell you. So research theories about how the leadership works or how some groups are doing, right? So here you see in the screen the leadership behavior and use of the power. So something important to tell you. So you see it's saying like the amount of employee participation in decision making. So let's say here that we are taking a decision, right? So when we say the amount of employee participation, it's talking about how everybody participates in the decision. That's it. So autocrat, the word tells you a lot, right? Something auto means like me, myself, right? I take the decision by myself and I don't provide consultation. I don't offer to give you a consultation. Those things, how I can say, in some cases you will need to take decisions by yourself, but the advice here is how, even if you have to take decisions by yourself, how you can integrate this team in this decision, even if you don't have too much choice and you have to take the decision. Or maybe you are receiving instruction and you don't have too much choices, right? So those things happen, but the strategy, in smart strategy, will be how we can help to these team members to be involved in the decision or the process or any kind of new challenge that the organization will have. If there is something that you have in your mind, recommendations for this, you can say that and share with us. Here in the screen, you are seeing the picture of Jeff Bezos, the founder, creator, Amazon. right? So it's always gonna be somebody that it will be mentioned in leadership because his styles, right, and the way he made this organization grow. It's showing here that he used to put like an empty chair in the conference. What I understood is like this empty chair means like the leader must be hands on, like making things happen instead of paying attention to the mm, leadership itself. I don't know if this is something that uh, makes sense to you, but it's what he's promoting is hands-on leadership, like working together. That's what it's saying here. So here you will see some of the traits. I was asking you when we start, tell me some traits. What do you think a leader must have? Even one word. Say one word. What do you think a leader must have? What is your opinion? Or what characteristics you have that you think, wow, I like this characteristic that I have. So Grayman theory of leadership, that's what promotes like everybody have skills that can develop to become a good leadership. And it's mentioning some leaders, great leaders here, like Alexander the Great, Julio Cesar, Juana de Arco, Joan of Arc, and it's mentioned Catherine the Great, Napoleon, and Mahatma Gandhi. I remember that a lot of you wrote about Mahatma Gandhi, cited as a great leader. So here you have the example. And also it's mentioned here Kenneth Lavich, also another leader. So, and we can keep mentioning leaders for a long time. Some of you mentioned leaders from your own countries, and I was so happy to read your comments on that. I'm not making mistake. It was this class. I want to make sure maybe it's the leadership one. But yes, some of you are there. So some traits identifying a leader that I was asking you since we start. For example, drive. What is drive? Effort, motivation, honesty. Sometimes some things are, how I can say this? So, there are some things that if you are not honest, you can hide it and nobody knows. But if you are honest, you are enough strong to say, hey, I made a mistake or any other thing. And also we make a case study I think that was here too, that we mentioned a lack of communication in a case study. So honesty, crocodile shavers, I think that was here. Self-confidence, another skill important for leadership. That's what I was telling you before. Fake it until you make it. Have this confidence because confidence is something that you feel. And if you keep believing that you can do it, people, believe me, you will do it if you believe in yourself. I know sometimes you wake up and you say, I cannot do it, but you push yourself, okay? Push yourself. Cognitive ability is what is in your brain. Knowledge, right? About not theory, about thinking skill. That's what that means. Knowledge, now we are talking about the knowledge of the business, understanding the company, understanding how it works, right? The industry, for example, it can be. So charisma, we're going to speak about charismatic leadership. It doesn't need too much explanation. Somebody with charisma, sometimes you cannot define, what is that? What is charisma? It's something that the person have itself. I don't know if you find yourself charismatic or not. You can say, what do you think on that? Maybe it's not something that you need. I don't know what you can say. Originality and flexibility. All of these that I'm mentioning are part of the traits of the skills of the leadership. A lot of you have all of these. A lot of you have many of those. Some of you say, I don't feel, but yes, you have. You have many skills that sometimes you don't know But anyway, we keep working until hard, until we can get the best from you, because I know you have another situation that happened, leader traits, sex and gender role, what that means. Like it's saying here that sometimes the leader, depending the role, will be more highlighting certain areas. That's what it means. It's all a balance, right? How you balance your energy. um, this positional trait is talking about this position, like to be able to do the things, right? To be open to do the different things. Self-monitoring, I speak a lot about that to you. Self-monitoring, watch yourself, observe yourself. When we were younger, we don't, I mean, I'm gonna talk from my side. When I was younger, I don't used to look myself. I just was going, living, doing many things, but don't observe what you have inside. So my advice for all of you, stop and look at you. Why I feel this? Why I'm like that? Observe yourself. When you are in the car, sometimes driving, when you are alone, you are doing a mechanic stick work in the house, for example, observe why you feel this way. And it's okay if you feel sad, it's fine. I am sad. Why? Because this, and that. Observe yourself. You don't have to avoid the feeling like, no, I cannot, I don't have to be sad. I cannot. Yes, I feel this way because this reason, and I decide right now that I will, have the energy to do the things I need to do to improve, to get there, etc. Self-monitoring. Look at you all the time. What else we have? Comments that you have. Here you will see some studies, some research that I was telling you. You will see a lot of those because leadership is something that is completely changing and making research to see what works and what doesn't. So that's why you will see all of this. More studies, University of Michigan. Like the leadership grid, it's like a way to compare the different abilities. So see, you can see on the screen how it looks. For example, concern for people. So how high or how low it's in the grid. Evaluations that the leaders receive, or that you can develop for other leaders, or that maybe you will receive evaluations like that during your professional growth, your professional life. So that's good that you know that that exist. More information about what you're looking here is the situational contingency approach to leadership. What is that? We mentioned that before, that depending the emergency, the situation, what is going on in this moment, we will have certain approach, certain reaction about what is going on in leadership. Like we say before, during the emergency of the COVID, right? So there was certain reactions of the leaders depending for example, let's say here in Reformed University, when this situation started, they make some decisions to provide the courses to the student. So this is a situational contingency. And I was asking to yourself when we start, if you have had in the past, or you having now a situation where you were working using the contingency, like you say, oh, I had to do this. I never believe, or I never think that I will react like that. So that's what that means. The situational, it's always some variable that will determine your procedure as a leader, depending on emergency, etc., etc. So here you will see the Fieder's contingency model are promoting the same. So when you say leader trait, what is that? More evaluation about leadership. Least prefer co-worker. The word tell you everything, right? Evaluation the person that you don't prefer to work. some leaders evaluation, okay? Right, let me see if he's here. Look at this. Here on the screen, you will see, for example, the contingency model, depending the situation, how react. That's why we promote the relationship between the leader and the group. Task structure, what is that? That the tasks that we need to perform are explained correctly to the team, to the group or the person, okay? Explaining the task. And leader position power, what is that? So how the followers or how the community evaluate or see this leader, strong, weak. That's what is that. So depending how the leader behavior, let's put it simple, the behavior of the leader. So that's what we are seeing right now. Path and goal. Let's talk about path and goal theory. So what that means, they will tell you path, following a purpose, following a goal, following an objective. That's what that means. So if I want that we do something in this group, I promote or I work with you this path and goal theory, like we are pursuing an objective that maybe we can say the objective will be the graduation in this case. So we can say path and goal theory, we apply this goal, which is the graduation, in a path where we are continuously working together to get there. That's what that means. The same in your organizations, in any kind of project that you have. Always the leader have to perform the support, direction, participative. What is that? So the word tell you participation. What is that? When we participate on the class, like this. Participation using the other people opinions or the others, promoting others to participate in the goals. That's it. Okay, so many things will impact this path and goal model, or in general the leadership. It's the environment and what the leaders have in their minds, their characteristics. That's why we spoke in human resource, finding the best candidates possible, right? If we find people that is engaged with the organization, oriented to the results, with the skills, all of these things, right? So what will happen when all of this process is performed? Now we're gonna have the motivation, the satisfaction of our team, and performance. That means the productive team, and also in all of this cycle, evaluation is important. Evaluate what is happening, how we can improve. Okay, supportive leadership tells you a lot, right? Supporting the others, supporting the team members, and directive, more structure, more going to the results, to the task. Participative, involving the others. I don't know if one of those catch your attention. Maybe one of these words say, oh, I like this. I prefer to execute my leadership this way. Okay, so if there is something that is in your mind on this, like you are attracted more, you can say it. Achievement oriented to the to the achievement, to obtain benefit, to obtain the goal. Okay, so one is here is talking about the cross-cultural context. Always we will be facing that, especially in this scenario, open country with many, many people from all over the world, let's say this way. So some cultures will be more open to the leadership techniques, and some cultures will be more restrictive to the others. It's more like, that's what I say and that's what you're gonna get, no suggestion. So depending the culture, the approach of the leadership is different. Okay, that's in general. So that's it. And the last one, almost there, when we say substitute and neutralizers of the leader behavior, what is that? So when we say substitute, that means, for example, if the group is very integrated, they have a lot of trust on each other. So that substitute the leadership. Like we don't need anybody to direct or to be directing us, because between us, we handle everything. This is an example, okay? But when we say neutralizer, are some characteristics that destroy the leadership, like the lack of confidence, the lack of trust, things that impact in the leadership negatively, the neutralizer. So if you think in the word neutral, it's like nothing happened, right? Like it's stable. So that's what happened in the leadership. They don't help. They are not helpful. That's helpful to the leadership. That's the way they call it here. So my opinion is, at the end, you will see many theories, many ways to approach the leadership, but everybody, I say the same over and over, will have a known style, which will be made with what you have learned and what you have in your mind, your beliefs, your values. But it's always important to see the academic, professional, and results perspective, so you can take decisions more informed. And that maybe with seeing all of these concepts, you can execute, have better performance. When we are speaking about transformational leadership, the word tell you transformation, whole change. So that's what transformational leadership does. Visionary, more focus in the future. Let's put it this way. In the future, in the goal that we're gonna get. But you will ask to yourself, how I can do this? You talk, for example, with your employees, with your team members, with your classmates, with the members of your group. You are focused in this vision, in this goal, and the long play in the long time. Let's say with the long in the future. And then we say charismatic leadership, more focused in my characteristics, attracting others with my personality, right? So that's what that means. And you can say, yes, but sometimes I will have a mix. Yes. And sometimes you will have more than one, but other a little bit, another. Yes, that can happen, all of that. So that's what this is the explanation of all of this. And you have it here if you want to go deeper. This is something very good that you see on the screen. Is the TED Talk. TED Talk in YouTube. A lot of, if you want to take a picture of the word, is here on the screen, TED, TED Talk. You will learn a lot if you start to see those conferences. I don't know if you have experience on that. Maybe some of you, I am almost sure, I am very sure that some of you know what is this TED Talk. If you have experience on that, if you have seen in YouTube, there are many conferences. You can learn leaders from your own countries, speaking in your language. For sure, you will find in TED Talk. So it's a strategy for you to improve and educational tools of leaders of this world that have results, and they participate in this famous conference. They are called TED Talk, and they are around all the world. This is here Travis Kalanick, but you will find many leaders from all over the world, not only him. Okay, so this is something good that you can research. And once you're driving, you can hear all of this conference. Okay, so every time as soon as the time keeps going, there are more needs on the different changes on the leadership area. That's what that is explaining here, right? I don't know if there is some ideas that you have right now. Technology, we can mention the technology, how this is done. Okay, until here. So you can notice how the technology is changing every single thing, including how leadership is performed. Okay, before I keep going, let me go to the activity 11 again, complete activity. So when we click on this, here you will have something that say take the test, and you just have to answer this question. Look at the questions for today, for this weeks, for these days. Don't make me wait too long because the class is almost over. Just April 21st is done. So identify a charismatic leader and a leader with little charisma. What traits and skill you think make them to be successful? That's it. And then the question will tell you how you can incorporate to be successful in your life. That's it. That's the first question. The second is, this is a situation where 40% of the employees telecommutes. What is that? They work from home. They work from home. So you want these people, like now here, we have a group that is in the computer. So how you can encourage them to make them communicate and have effective development. So good, because now I'm gonna, this is my revenge for with to you. Don't you? I'm kidding. But now you will suggest me, I will use this as suggestion, how I can make people that is teleworking or like you connected through Google Meeting, how you can motivate them. How you can motivate them to be efficient? Please tell me, because I don't have way to make you motivate. So this is the second question. And the third question is, there is a situation here in a meeting. It's talking about you are in a meeting. So how you will deal with the conflict in this meeting. So 3 questions, 3 paragraphs is enough. I mean, 1 paragraph, 1, 2, in the second 1 paragraph, 3 paragraphs in total. You can answer this, it's not difficult. All my students that answer this, they already have good grades, so I don't find you will have problem on this. What else you have? Tell me if you have comments, questions, complaints. I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to stop the presenting because you don't need to see this anymore. Manage recording. Comments that you have, let me know. I'm going to stop recording. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Stop recording.